Hello. Oh, wait a second. No. Okay, here we go. I forgot I was supposed to go find Wanda Tyler's house before I started the episode. But this is a Painscreek Killings. They're gonna go solve a murder using this here key. Dum dum dum. While I was between episodes, I left the game just running because time doesn't like pass in this game. So my character was just kind of standing sadly in the street the entire last 30 minutes. I'd look over occasionally and just be like, it's really weird to just have like a semi-realistic look of a street just on your computer monitor, just stuck there for a while. Like I even sort of personified it where my character's standing sadly. I can't even see my character. But that's what the image I had in my brain. Someone just standing there sadly for like 30 minutes, not moving. I'm depressed just thinking about it. Wanda, what do you do for the Roberts? Should I turn off my light? No, I should not. Everything's just gonna be unlit, so we'll just... Oh, that's the exit. What other random things do I have to throw at you while we reload? So hearing myself talk is actually interesting. I've done it the past 3 episodes. It makes me sort of talk slower than I normally do when I'm recording, which I think is actually... Oops, hit the mic there. Is actually a good thing, because I think I've always thought I tend to talk too fast in these things. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to... My brain wouldn't be able to process fast enough. So I talk a little slower. I think it makes me fuck up a little less and think about what I'm saying a little bit more, not much. I don't put a lot of thought into things. I don't know if you've ever noticed such a thing. Should we just never go in kitchens again? Because they don't seem to ever have anything of any relevance. Oops. Why can't I just click to read it? Friday, 1990. We went cycling today. Scott, the murder suspect, said he can ride faster than me. Of course that isn't true, so we had a competition and Trisha was our referee. We set the goal line to be the fence in front of the river. I was winning until we almost reached the finishing line. I braked to prevent myself from crashing into the fence, but Scott didn't brake. He pedaled harder as he approached the goal. I yelled at him to stop, but he did not listen. By the time he crossed the line, it was too late. The brakes did not stop him in time. His bike hit the fence and he was launched into the air, landing on the rocks by the riverbank. I ran to him. There was blood coming from his head and scratches all over his arms and legs. Trisha came up to him and tended to his wounds. She seemed to be sobbing. Even though Scott was the one bleeding, I think I'm hurting more than him. So I guess this person liked Trisha. This is either Derek or Charles. I don't know which one. While cleaning the garage, Charles approached and asked... Okay, so this is Derek. And asked if I would like to be his chauffeur. He said his current driver wants to spend more time with his grandchildren and is planning to retire. I have by the end of this week to decide. It's a good opportunity. I'd get a raise in salary and I'd get to travel around the country. I think I'll say yes. Wait, what? I might have this family wrong. I thought so Derek drives around Charles. I assumed that meant that Charles was the kid, right? Like he was driving to school and stuff. But that seems like it's not the case. So Derek, I guess, is the kid of Wanda who drives around someone named Charles. No fucking clue who he is. Trisha came today and suggested we make our very own time capsule before I start my new job. I thought it was a good idea. We buried the box near a big stone in the cemetery. Before leaving, we made a promise to each other that we will open it up in 10 years. In 2000. I had a chance to walk around New York today. As I went into a bookstore, I remembered how much Trisha loved notebooks. There was one that was really cute. It was a bit expensive, but I think she will like it. I should surprise her by giving her the notebook on her birthday. I didn't expect to be traveling this much as a driver. On one hand, I miss my mom. Okay, so it's definitely the son. On the other hand, I get to stay in nice hotels. I guess it's not a bad deal. Charles treats me very well. He even gives me extra allowances on these trips. Is Charles Vivian? Is Charles the mayor? Because I would assume he'd be the only one rich enough in this town to have a chauffeur driving him to random places. But hey, look, they spelt mom correctly here. We went hunting near the river. According to Scott, there's a nest in the drain hole that sometimes has eggs. I told him it might be dangerous, but he assured us that it's fine. So off we went. Sure enough, there were eggs. Why do we care about eggs? You're old enough to be driving someone around. Why are you fucking going... whatever. I didn't know what eggs those were and decided to stay a little further away. Scott started collecting them when I noticed something moving. Trisha was able to shout out that it was a snake. I stood there, frozen, not knowing what to do. Scott turned and saw the snake. He then spread his arms out and slowly walked backwards. Trisha was behind him. He extended it... Sorry. He extended his right hand with the stick towards the snake and slowly placed the bag of eggs on the floor with his left hand. When he reached me, he grabbed my arm and said, "Run." We all ran, screaming our lungs out. I think that was the fastest I ever ran in my life. So, hang on. This is all the same year that I'm reading, by the way, 1990. He's apparently old enough to drive, which I don't know what the laws is. Let's say he's the youngest he could be is 15. So that would sort of match with like the bikes and this thing, I guess. 15-year-olds still do stupid shit like that. But if he's any older than that, like, it's a little weird. I miss the old days when it was Trisha, Scott, and myself hunting in the back of the woods playing by the lake. It's 2 months ago, dude. It's not that I don't appreciate what Charles has given to us, such as the house we live in and our jobs. Yeah, so this must be Charles Roberts. Okay. I just didn't write his name down for some reason. Let me write this down. Charles. Here we go. Oh, because I put it under Wanda Tyler. Got it. I just miss the time when we were young and carefree. We would go anywhere and nothing would stop us. I miss Trisha. Why doesn't she realize that I like her? Probably because you never told her. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and assume, like, you never went, like, hey, well, you know, Trisha, you're really awesome. You want to go out sometime? Is she supposed to just assume such things? I didn't have, like, a childhood sweetheart that I grew up with, right? That's not a thing. Didn't really... Derek. Okay, so this is Derek Tyler for sure. Didn't really, you know... I treated girls like they were just... I guess the way I would treat someone who is, like, twice my age is just kind of like... Yeah, it's a person. We're cool with them. We'll talk to them, but not engage with them to a degree that you do, like, your peers, right? Until I was in college, obviously. So I don't really know what it's like to grow up with someone you end up liking, I guess. But to me, it's just kind of like, I need to totally fix this. It's just kind of like, yeah. So I, you know, I guess it's getting a little personal, but I can totally be friends with the opposite sex. Not a problem for me, but it's like a switch though, right? Like you can't, if you decide you're gonna be friends, which is a decision that you make, you know, when you're older. Why can't? Thank you, Wanda, for your hard work, Trisha, or Vivian. Vivian. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, but it's like a switch. Like, if you're like, okay, I want to be friends, that's it. Like, it's a switch. It's not going to change unless you go, I don't want to be friends anymore, I want to date, then it's like, oh, okay, I have to think of you differently now. So, like, it's not like, you can't just assume people are going to know that you like them because they've kind of put that wall up where it's like, all right, this person's a friend, so I'm not going to think about them that way, so I can enjoy certain things. You know, like, you could be a little bit more gross or stuff like that. I don't know. Anyways, let's continue with the game. May 3rd, 1974. Okay, wow. 1974. That's a long time ago. Derek turned 4 today. Okay, so Derek was 4 in 1974. So 20 years. He's 24. 25 is when Vivian Roberts dies. They're 25. So he was 20 years old when they were doing that shit in 1990? No. He's 16. What's wrong with my math there? He's... Wow. How did I fuck that up? 21 minus 5. How did I get... Whatever. That's embarrassing. I don't know how I got that. He was 16. So I was right about that. Alright. Jesus. So, wait. I'm going to write down... This might have some relevance. So, 21 when... 21. There we go. After blowing out the birthday candles, I asked him what he wished for. He said, "I wish to see Papa." I did not know what to say to him. I could not tell him that his father left us. Vivian is being hospitalized for mental instability. Dorothy, the new name, Dorothy, has asked me to care for Vivian while she remains at the hospital. I wonder how Vivian must be feeling right now, knowing that she might not be able to conceive anymore. Magdalene wants a boy to continue the family line. I assume that's Vivian's mother. Not being able to have children anymore will be devastating for Vivian. I pity her. I just can't stand Sophia. She's not that pretty. She's barely a year working here, and the others are already serving her hand and foot. She's just here to take advantage of the Roberts family. I don't trust her. I wish she'd disappear. Sophia. Wanda doesn't like her. Got it. No, this seems somewhat relevant, right? Let's take a quick pick of this page so we know how they all sort of interrelate with each other when we have to review these notes. Liza. It's kind of funny to find diaries with like 5 pages in them, but isn't that always really how diaries end up working out? You like, or journals, whatever. You end up writing a little bit and then boom. I actually had reams and reams of those little journals, but that's because I wrote like stories and shit on them. Not like I would start off a journal and then I would just go into fantasy and write a whole story. All right. I think the story I wrote had all my friends, and it was about us getting sucked into the Ocarina of Time because I thought my friends were playing video games too much. It's like, all they want to do is play video games, so it's taking over their life. They're turning into zombies. So I was like, I wrote a book where the video game... No, okay, that's what it was. The video game was turning my friends into zombies. And so me and some of my other friends, we didn't play much video games. I didn't play... I did... I don't know, my history with video games is pretty strange for someone who spends 90% of their free time playing them now. So we went into the world and tried to break the infection. Pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little story. I think my mom still has it. But obviously, it's I thought about fixing it up and making a real story, but it rips off. I realized it rips off every fucking story I read as a child. There were these little. There's a plot, right? Hang on, let me check the. It's under the flower pot next to the church. That's what I was looking at this pots for. Yeah, there's one thing. There's these stories that I read where like the evil creatures could disguise as humans and their eyes would turn a certain color. So of course in my book, like the evil fake the friends I didn't like like the friends that my friends hung out with that I didn't like would turn into these imposter creatures. And they would try to break our thing. It was pretty fun though. Like, and I had one friend who I was kind of mad at. So his whole part of the story was, he would constantly be knocked out. Like he came in separate from everybody else on accident, and he would just constantly like fall downstairs and get knocked out and blah blah blah. And then like part of the way through, I what the? There's nothing in these pots, as far as I can tell. You know, I felt bad about it, so he ended up being like the most important part of the story. He ended up being like the star child, you know, that had like the key to everything. It's kind of funny how this stuff sort of just builds naturally. I swear I looked at all those flower pots over and over. Okay, well let's look for a time capsule in here. I don't know if I need tools or like what. So I can't manipulate the world, but supposedly a time capsule's it's a big rock somewhere. A big rock somewhere? A big rock? Ah. Here we are. Rock. I mean, do I need a shovel? I still can't interact with these things. No, man. Alright, we'll check. There's no other rocks in here? Wanda Tyler. He died in 96. Now we know some of these names, I guess. Raymond Brown was in the hospital, I think. Who's Magdalene Roberts? Oh, Magdalene Roberts. Okay, that's the, I guess, she found the city, probably? So where's Vivian? Should she be near her mama? There's Andrew Reed. 95. That's interesting. There's nothing on these gravestones. But, like, where's the Vivian's? Trisha Roberts. When did she die? 95. Vivian. 95. I see. Wait a second. Wait a goddamn second. Vivian Roberts was murdered. We're looking at Vivian. Trisha, her daughter, who would have been around 21. We don't know exactly. Patricia died the same year? There's no mention. She must have died after her mother, because there's no mention of it here. The Roberts Mansion, Vivian. What the fuck? But 96. Huh? What the actual fuck? Why are they buried so far away? Why do these guys get to be put in front of Magdalene? Is the other Mr. Roberts here? There's Scott Brooks. He died in 95. God's lint child. There's a lot of fucking people who died at 95. I guess that's why they shut down the town. 96 is when the hospital shut down. I assume that's like the last nail in the coffin. He says in the cemetery. Oh god. Andrew Reed died in 95 as well. There's other people that were here for a long time. Let's see if there's any other 95s. Mercy Young was buried in 97 here, so the town was still open then. Who the fuck is this? Okay, it's like 4 people died in 95. There was also in my pictures, not this, this. So this they put the cemetery here as a possible place for their time capsule. Who the fuck are these people, by the way? Hannah and Nicole? No idea. Was there a good? No. Yeah, that was Melissa. Well, I don't know what to say about this. Where was... I didn't take a picture of Derek's journal. I was hoping I could see more about where the time capsule... I assume they got their... No, they said in 2000, which I don't even know if it's 2000 yet in this... in game time, right? Well, that was a dead end. There's definitely a key in the flower pot, though, right? Like, that's something that is actually a thing. Well, I guess I will end the episode here. I'll check the flower pots. If there's nothing there, I'll find somewhere else for us to go, and then start the next episode. See you guys. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.